helpful.
Thank you.
Christchurch School of Gymnastics, Avril, welcome. Nice to see you. And thank you for the many submissions you sent.
I was just going to say, we appreciate the opportunity to be here and talk to our submission. And
but speaking for so many others, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Can we just get this onto slideshow rather than?
And it's page 16
I would like to
to page 161.
Okay, cool. Yep. Okay, cool. All right, so we appreciate the opportunity to be here to talk to our submission today. We actually, as Leanne said, we've been here many times before, and with me today is Jane Clark. She's on our building committee and also a life member of the club, so she's been a long time supporter of Christchurch School of Gymnastics. So, all right, so in your draft annual plan you asked for if the community had any new ways the council can work to deliver the facilities that our communities need. So we're a good example. We want to build a new facility. We have one already, but it's not fit for purpose anymore, and we believe that we need support. You can support the community to build the facilities. You don't need to do them yourselves. Sports such as gymnastics have specific needs that require fit-for-purpose facilities. And it's cheaper for the clubs to provide staff and maintain our fit-for-purpose sporting facilities than the council does. So our current facility at QE2 is damaged. It is 62% of the new building code, but is no longer fit for purpose as a significant participation and competition venue for gymnastics. There are areas that are out of bounds. We have floor levels that are not level anymore. We have kitchen and some areas that we cannot use, and most importantly our spectator mezzanine floor is restricted in numbers, so it inhibits our opportunity to have people viewing our sport and coming to competitions as well. So why support Christchurch School of Gymnastics to provide this new facility? You need to support us because you're investing in the physical and mental development of our children. In normal circumstances, we are a self-sustaining club with a proud and successful history. We've been delivering gymnastics and related movement opportunities to the community for 49 years. Next month, we will be 21 years on QE2 Park, and we're the only ones there at the moment, so we believe that's a big of a success story in itself. We are a significant social and economic contributor to the East. We have, for a club, we've got a large turnover, also large expenses, but we are making a profit, just. We employ lots of staff, and we bring lots of families and officials and gymnasts to Christchurch for our events. So, and we deliver also gymnastics classes to 69 schools last year. Our increase in our membership was 11%, and our participations number over 198,000. Now that's tuition hours that we deliver to children, mainly young children, but also adults as well. We are the second largest club in New Zealand. So council, CSG provided, as I said, 198,000 activity hours, which is 1.98 million hours over a 10-year period. And for what we're asking the City Council to support us today, it equates to 55 cents per participation over the life of the long-term plan. The council investment in your reckon sports areas, I believe, is $1.87, or you try to keep it under $2.22. That's per person. So this is the reach of our QE2 venue. This is where we draw our members from. As you can see, it's a city-wide facility, and it's very well used. One of the ones right down in the bottom left-hand corner is Horswell, where our Olympian came from, Courtney McGregor. So she travelled all the way to QE2 because we actually have the staff and the facility to put her where she was at the Rio Olympics last year. So how can the City Council support gymnastics and CSG? We've been partnering with the council for 21 years on QE2 Park. The council can't deliver everything, but we need your help to deliver gymnastics to the community. We can do it better than the council can, but we need a commitment to a lease, which is underway, I'm pleased to say. But we also need a commitment to pay for the land preparation and the remediation costs. we've got the money for the building, but we haven't got the money to prepare the land that we want to build on. We've been very helped by the councillors and also the community board and the staff of the council, but we're at the stage now we actually need a commitment. So the project cost of rebuilding the gymnastics facility is 8.1 million. We have been paid out by insurance, as I've told the councillors before. We have 5.5 million already, but we need, and we've got applications in for the rest of the funding apart from the remediation, the land preparation and the fees and the consents, which total 1.1. This is the concept drawing, our fourth one I think it is we're up to, and that's where on QE2 Park we've actually applied for the lease. The little blue bit above the Sport Recreation Centre is our preferred site.
Oh, right. So it's shared car park.
There's there is a car park next to that blue rectangle, and that's where the number 2 ground was. So it's an existing car park that will need to be refurbished. So this is what we've been doing so far. We've been partnered also, the Rata Foundation and the New Zealand Community Trust have already come on board and confirmed funding. And we have an opportunity to go to a community loan either at Rata or the City Council. We've been talking to the COGS people here. But the 1.1 million is something that we need to go further on. The Lotteries Grants Board is, the application's in process, we'll hear shortly, but we're up against Ngāpunawai and the council's application there for 5 million. We're only asking for 1.5, so we're hopeful we'll get all of that, but we'll have to wait and see. So our request is actually not in the current draft annual plan. We have asked the community board and the council staff to look at how this funding support can be confirmed so we can go ahead. We believe, we've been told by the QE2 Regeneration Committee that there's cost savings from the asbestos removal, and also there's Ministry of Education money that's going back into QE2 Park. So we're actually asking if perhaps this could be diverted to help pay for the remediation, and the playing fields could be re-established a bit further down the track when they're actually needed. We don't need the funds till next year. As I said before, we've got some funds to keep us going and start the building and get well underway, but we do need a commitment so that we can actually design our building for the 8.1 million. Otherwise we're going to have to cut some very necessary areas out of the facility. So there is some on your printouts, a little bit more about our some quotes from our supporters, and also some timelines where we're at to. But any questions?
Do you want to go back one slide? So you don't need the funds until the beginning of the next financial year, but you need to know that they're coming into the following financial year.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, and we've been trying to work that out. So just to let you know, John Fulsell, David Bailey have been working with Avril too. There are 3 possible funding scenarios there, and Avril's alluded to those, and obviously working on the lease. But yeah, it's just getting this timing right. Yeah. I thought, it looks like an LTP bid, but we're still hearing
we need the commitment, yes.
It's an LTP bid that needs a decision prior to the LTP
I think that's
decision.
What we have to try and land on. So
it may well be that we don't need to include it in this annual plan because it's the following year, but I think we should make a commitment to make a decision earlier in the piece so that it's not awaiting the conclusion of the annual plan next year.
Yeah,
the LTP next year.
So we can design.
Certainty, I think that's
the certainty. Yeah. So, but that's incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
David?
Thank you. Yes, that's obviously a crucial part of the equation is making a commitment to the project before we've actually confirmed the long-term plan, and I'm not sure of any complexities around that, but certainly if we were able to, it would make life a little easier. I'd just like to ask Avril on the 1.1 million that is being required. There was some discussion earlier about the need for CSG to demolish the existing building, and whether or not is that 1.1, does that include that or not?
No, it doesn't. We had a quote for $500,000 in for the demolition, but we believe the council are working with Centreparade Trust to see if they will be able to take it over as a warehouse.
That's great.
But the April one does not include.
Yeah, I just did wonder really whether that was part of the remediation and land preparation costs of that budget. But no, that's good, because, and it's probably an interesting aspect of the whole project, is that we have a building on QE2 that for certain purposes would be quite adequate, and we are working with another organisation to see whether there is a potential use there, which actually sort of does go a long way to showing some added benefit of assisting CSG in their relocation, and that we have an existing building that we can help another organisation substantially reduce their costs to council and storing equipment. So there could be a win-win situation out of this whole...
And that in turn would save the council money.
So, yeah, something like $100,000 a year.
Thank you. I've got 13 seconds left. Yanni?
I was just trying to understand what you previously have come to council, and we had resolutions, and I think it's come through a committee. In terms
CHED committee we went to.
Through the CHED committee. Yeah. So in terms of the idea of having some sort of overall concept for QE2, including your relocation, are you aware of any planning or anything that's bringing all the projects together? Because I see you've also mentioned Shirley Boys High School, saying that they might use it. We've also seen a presentation at our community board about the gym that they're putting in. We're putting in a gym as council.
Yeah. That's a fitness gym.
Right.
That's, dumbbells and weights and things, as opposed to movement.
But are you aware of any sort of overall kind of working group or plan which kind of utilises all the synergies of what's been proposed and makes sure that we're not duplicating or wasting resource?
There is a QE2 Regeneration Council group going, but that's just to coordinate all the people on the park that are a building like the Recreation and Sports Centre plus the schools and us. But as far as coordinating activity, we're already there, so I'm not sure. Obviously we'd like to be working with people at the pools to provide things, and the schools will already work with us, and I'm aware of football groups wanting to move onto the park as well, but we'll be happy to be part. The master plan
process due to start, so that's great.
Yeah, but we're already there.
You're already there.
Delivering, yeah.
All right, but there's just a little bit standing in the way of that. So look, thank you very much for coming, much appreciated.
Thanks for the opportunity to put it out there again.
Thank you.